afternoon, my fellow zombies out there are emotionally screwed up and sleep deprived, or shall we say, emotionally deprived and sleep screwed up. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? It's 4:35 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It's still Saturday, the 3rd of June, 2023. The Weaver John C. The zombie out here in Roseman, California. Yeah, past few times it wasn't a diary because I wasn't moaning and groaning and crying my eyeballs out just yet. I've had that earlier today. So yes, it still goes back on the diary of the griever named John Weaver, which would be me. Catching this one thing on Jesse Delamore's show. He was talking about bigot Benny Johnson. It says that the real Jesus was intolerant, according to Mr. Jesse's title. I'll be sending this copy over to him eventually. And he's just as much of a lay minister as I am because we're both not hip on the exact verses in the Bible that much, but we know the gist of it, at least part of it. It was show has a tendency of going after nut jobs and nut bars and extreme extremists at this point over here to expose them so he can make public humiliation out of them and to tell the public what the hell we're looking at here. It's like, well, we're doing the same thing that Jesus kept accusing us not to do. Unfortunately, we still have to be exposing the rascals out there without picking up a stone and, well, what the Old Testament would be talking to us about. There was passages in the Bible, and Jesse was talking about it in Matthew in there somewhere. Jesus wasn't exactly hip when it came down for people who are going to be stoning a prostitute. I think Mary of Magdalene, according to what stories I've been hearing and reading throughout my life on that one. She was a prostitute, and she was going to be engaging in an act with another gentleman. Way to survive, way to live. And I know it's an affront to God. At least if you're really strict at things left and right, and they say that's really affront to God and you must be stoned to death because you committed adultery. Yeah, I guess so. I guess being an adulteress is one of the most heinous things we could be. And yet I know people in my family line had, well, they prospered with it. Even if a young man is still needing some kind of relief or comfort, even if it's temporarily at best. But they all want you to be faithful. You have to be 100% or 110%. You have to be superhuman, being totally faithful. Some occasions, if we really had that deep relationship with a woman, and I don't know, I've never been in relationships before. I never have in my lifetime. Wish I had. But I've lost those opportunities, lost those chances a long time ago. Even as a young man. I even messed up opportunities for even the one night stands. One way or another. Doesn't make me completely holy at this point. I'm one screwed up individual with a hell of a record. Sometimes I like to have the damn thing sponged. Trying to be a decent human being at this point over here. I still got a dog to take care of, so if you'll excuse me one quick second here. Sorry about that. Getting back to the video and concerning about the topic. Sometimes we keep forgetting it's easier to be holier than thou because we think we're the morally righteous ones. We've been told and instructed in our holy teachings that we have to watch out for those who are about to lead us astray or leading us astray or continuing to do so. Simply put, they say something we like, and then everything else goes hell in a handbasket. But we like it because it sounds like a sickly sweet thing. And it's a something of a new entrapment. We're so involved with the damn thing we don't even know what's going on around us. Now, how's this regarding Mary Magdalene? No, take that back. Not Mary Magdalene. I really got to review the story in this one here. I know Jesus saved a woman in the Bible whose career choice was being, if we want to talk about Battlestar Galactica and the original, and its description of the character Cassiopeia being a socialite. No, socialator. Sometimes you just, and it seems like these days we have to, we're looking down on these poor people because they're trying to find a way to live and survive. Sometimes they've had a hard enough life that put them into that situation where they can't get out of it. Imagine if that was the same woman or same type of woman back then in Jesus' time, that she couldn't get out of it. She had to survive. Tossed out for some reason or discarded somehow. The only way she could do is what she's got to do to live and survive. Men with their absolute moral convictions would say otherwise just to satisfy their own manlyhood. Oh great, you can stand her in the middle of the night, but during the daytime you can't stand to look at her. And no wonder Jesus gave her compassion to her. Wanted people to learn it and understand the same. Because if Jesus is around today, man, his hand's going to be full. Where are my armies? Where are my followers? Where are the people that I need the most to help me through this? Because everybody else is not doing what the Father wanted them to do in the first place. They're all out there for themselves. I thought the Roman Empire was bad enough. These people are worse. Or almost just as about as corrupt and screwed up. I imagine he probably would, and everybody else is probably thinking they're going to be pious and stuff like that. Arguing, screaming, and yelling at Christ, how dare you say that? How dare you think that? Who do you think you are? We follow the Christ. You're not the Christ. We follow God, but you're not God. We got things we do which are holy and thou and everything else going on. But you are just, where the hell are you? If Christ or God or both was walking amongst us as people that we didn't recognize, traveling the globe, traveling the earth, and checking to see how his people are in real life, in real eyes. I mean, Christ was one thing during the Roman Empire. In this day and age, if they're able to travel them out, among us, without us knowing about it, appearing one day, disappearing the next minute, leaving this impression like Who is that person? Maybe spying on us one way or another, trying to see if we're the human beings. Imagine the angels were doing that one there, just checking us out. Well, the question would come up because other people of the false prophets and of the anger and hatred and everything else of the lousy vitriol would be saying that Christ and God is not what we thought they are. That's the wokeism. We know what God is. We know who Jesus is. And we would know, character alert, character alert, character alert. I represent the Gun Owners Association of this lovely weapon of mass destruction over here. Given to us by the Second Amendment of the U.S. Constitution, the thing well above the Ten Commandments at this point over here that we worship. Oh, I know that lousy Ten Commandments will probably say, thou shalt not kill. Oh, well, it didn't say, shoot thy neighbor to death. It just said, thou shalt kill. Okay, let's have a gang. We gotta sell this gun out here, and we gotta make a profit over here. Because we gotta put our profits, well, back in our pockets over here, but we gotta put some kind of silver coinage or something like that in the altar over here just to satisfy the old, God and Jesus at this here. I mean, Jesus would even love this awesome weapon over here. Look at the feel. Look at this weapon. Isn't this nice? I can see a target right now. It is nice. I feel holier than anything else. I am about to claim the Holy Spirit in the name of the bullets, and of the gun coil, and of the cartridge. And I have my sights, my holy sights, littered on people left and right. I'm going to do this thing blindfolded. Ha, 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 ha. I'm going to pick out my subjects that's going to worship God in my way at this point over here. We need the holy screams of bloody massacre at this point over here. Can we get an AM, Brother Don? Brother Don, where you at? Oh, shit. He was my first convert, and he's already dead about so many years. But let's get crazy with this weapon, Joey. I did say character alert, right? I did say character alert. I did say character alert. For the record, I hate guns. They are massively seducing. They are. Doesn't matter what form. Doesn't matter which particular genre you're looking at. They are seducing. Even the video games get seducing real fast on those damn things. But I'm going to be bringing up a character at this point over here who's going to be worshiping up guns instead of Jesus. He's going to be spreading the holy massacre of holy screaming and terror because the Second Amendment is God and nothing else matters. Right now, this is what we've got. We have people who are absolutely worshiping bloodshed. And crazy people keep saying that liberations and libtards and woke people keep drinking the blood of those that keep slaying, and we are the more righteous people over here. We want more guns on the street. So I'm going to be listening to some preacher person somewhere out there telling me that God and Jesus don't exist. Guns exist because they are the absolute right of everybody else, and therefore we should worship and use the tones that they have, which is the automatic weapon or semi-automatic weapon loading a round into a chamber, getting another round into a loading position, ready to go into the firing chamber, and when the first round is let loose, the other one comes up. And then it continues and continues and it continues. And all you hear is a bah, 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 bah. I guess that would be the holy hymn, according to the Smith & Wessons. or the AK-47, or a MAC-10, or even an M60, let alone a ghost gun, a P90. What scared the hell out of me is coming across that sound effect all the damn time on some occasions when I'm outside on Sunday mornings and I hear it in the gun ranges. The sound is echoed but also distant. Knowing that you've got people out there with heavy duty firearms who are practicing it and they're enthralled with it. They think Jesus and God blessed them with the damn gun and the weaponry to kill people with it. It's no wonder it goes through my head on occasions like these that the Garden of Gethsemane, Jesus kept telling Peter, put the damn thing away. You're going to die by the damn thing if you keep using it. They're going to kill you. Those who live by the sword are going to get killed by the damn thing. Put it away. You know, growing up, I didn't have the affinity of guns. Video games, yeah. Shooter games, a little. But space games, yeah. Pinball, okay, that was fun on a computer terminal. TIE fighter on a computer terminal, okay, that's fine. You're just in a TIE fighter and you're blasting at zeros and ones, no problem. But you're not trying to massacre and kill people left and right until you get into games like, let's see, Duke Nukem, Doom, Star Wars, Dark Forces 1. Yeah, you killed a guy already, and sometimes you see the monsters bloodied already in the game, and the stormtroopers, well, they get fired and they drop down like crazy. And they litter the game. But you can walk past them or through them. Electronic Arts used to do the Star Wars contract. Lost it now. No longer do it anymore. But their games that they had. Some of the earlier games I played in the early 2000s. Battlefront 1, Battlefront 2. You had the guys, after you nailed them, they didn't have any burn marks or anything else like that. And they've faded. Not littered all over the place. Just faded. I kept thinking to myself, this is just zeros and ones. I get involved with zeros and ones doing the massive input. And the output is I'm seeing devastation, I'm seeing explosions, I'm seeing guns firing at each other. I put myself in God mode in vulnerability with a lot of ammunition, and I become something that actually massacres a hell of a lot of things, and I win mostly. Sometimes I'll get in defeat because my patterns suck. Or I get too damn lazy for it. And I know it's fake. These days I know it's fake. These days I wasn't into mass suicide or mass massacres or genocides or anything else like that. And if Jesus was actually saying this thing, I think he'd have a conniption fit over the thing. Do you worship the game or do you worship me? I like playing my game. Then you worship the game and you don't worship me. Huh? That would be my reaction right there years ago. I guess these days, if he would probably ask me, Jesus was a tyrant or not, I guess Jesus would be looking at me very strangely saying, why would you ask me that question? Why would you think I'm a tyrant? I'm as easy on everybody. I lift up burdens left and right. Why would I be the tyrant? And I guess we got a guilty trip at this point over here, boss, because now I'm thinking I've screwed up so many damn times, I'm not worthy of anything. And does this give you the right to go after people or things in a violent nature? Disagreements are one thing. But you have that much severe hatred for something or someone else that you got to go crazy on it? Or even find a substitution for it? How to put me off on my own video games that I've got. Massive destruction. Starships going after each other, trying to kill each other left and right. How would Jesus look at that one? We got our own Hollywood and worldwide distribution of films and television shows that we see that we're in mass murder ourselves, or specific genocide, or specific homicides. But we got to see it on the film. We got to see it on the screen. We got to see it because we think it's not real, and yet programmed into our brains, we got the zeros and ones hitting us and telling us, let's try this. Now you're talking about me being mentally screwed up at this point. My God. How would Jesus be looked at these days? Or better yet, would Jesus want to be visual with people these days? Would God want to do this? He could look at a person and know their heart and mind and soul right there. I created you, and you're doing this. Okay. We're going to have a talk one of these here, eternities here. In your lifetime. I guess Jesus would be doing the same thing, except he'd be crying his eyeballs out, saying, Father, look at these people doing this stuff. And saying these things. How can we change everybody again? They made their choices. They're going downhill at this point over here. I don't know what the hell we can do at this point. God's honest truth, I wouldn't even have an answer for him, even if I happen to hear the damn question in my head on this one. Jesus and God wasn't there to destroy us. Only our own damn fear was destroying us, our own damn hatred and anger. I know they're going to be bringing up Sodom and Gomorrah left and right, and I'm not quite sure about that story anyway, or let alone Noah's Ark. I mean, flooded the whole world. In a region, I can understand, but the entire world? No. I can understand in a certain region of Mesopotamia, ancient Mesopotamia area, or ancient Babylon area. The Middle East has a lot of geologic features to it. And if there was a massive amount of sedimentary layers that talk about time and actually could be radioactively dated, carbon dated. We had the geologists working on this to actually prove and disprove that it was either worldwide or not. And we don't have the information about the worldwide. We don't. Some people said we had the dinosaurs when we actually had Cain and Abel. I doubt it. I'm sorry, some things I don't buy just yet. And Sodom and Gomorrah, if there's anything of it out there, not even the table scraps of Lot's wife, I can understand them for being moral lessons. And if God was really that pissed off about his people, then why didn't he get involved earlier on? And why did he do this? And I don't know. There's a lot of questions about that one that I still have to go through human interpretations on. Because I still don't buy Sodom and Gomorrah. Hell, if he was really that pissed off, he should have knocked out Las Vegas already, or Atlantic City. Any one of the gambling hotspots we got out there. Just wipe it all out and say, this is Sodom, this is Gomorrah. I am the Lord your God. Here's my example. You're going to follow, right? I seriously doubt that God would have human agents doing the dirty work at this point over here, destroying everything. I'm sorry, I don't follow that logic. Nor do I follow any of these false prophets that keeps telling us that Jesus was a monster. He was intolerant to people. That's not the one I was taught. Now it's not the one I believed in. That's not the one that I kept trying to save my ass. I guess he was really trying to save my ass during those times when I needed him the most. Okay, so much for that one, I guess. All these negative naysayers out there, I just have to keep focusing on the positive people out there. Despite the fact that emotionally I'm still screwed up and I'm crying my eyeballs out and still racked with a roller coaster grief at times. I still have to remember the stories. And I still have to remember the gentleness. And I still have to remember that I am not alone and I'm still loved. Despite the fact my part of my head and my subconscious are trying to tell me otherwise and put me still back in that mental cage again. So, yeah, this is going over to those guys, including Jesse Dollarmore. And I would say to the Mr. Dollarmore, dude, where's your specs? Some of the times I keep seeing him on the show, he's got specs on, and this time, I guess maybe he didn't get in time to clean his specs. I know mine are dirty like crazy or just bad. So, Jesus was tolerant. Jesus was tolerant. Well, when it came down for places of worship being turned into economy, that was a different story altogether. Different story altogether.